Hello Year 10, this is a copy of the audio recording for the Holocaust assignment. I'm recording this on my phone and I'm just going to upload it via MP3 onto YouTube, and then I'm just going to attach a little clip in the sort of on that front screen there, which you'll see. So what I suggest you do is get up a copy of my virtual museum. You'll see that there on the first slide, just says Virtual Holocaust Museum by myself. I've only got one of the rooms, and I'm just choosing room 1. Right? So, for example, I'll briefly talk to you about how it should sound. The first part is an introduction of the room and the short identification of the artefacts. So it might sound a little something like, let's say, if we go into our first room, we have 2 artefacts here, or 2 pictures of artefacts, which contain information about concentration camps. The artefact on the left-hand side, artefact 1, is a picture of crematorium 3 from Auschwitz, taken in 1943, which is in Poland. The artefact on the right-hand side is actually not an artefact at all. It's actually a reconstruction of concentration camp barracks at Dachau, which I took when I went there 2 years ago. So, and then what you're supposed to do is have a look at the artefacts and then say, and then you ask the questions, which is a comprehensive overview of the theme of the room using accurate historical information. So you might go about explaining the artefact by then saying, the crematorium, for example, is a symbol of sort of the evolution of Nazi death camps. By 1943, Auschwitz was probably working at almost full capacity, exterminating tens of thousands of Jews per day. They developed a comprehensive system where they brought them in via train, sorted them there on the station platform between people who were potentially available to work, so the men and the teenagers, boys in particular who were ready to work. Often the older people who were transported to the camps, and particularly the young children as well, and maybe some women as well, people who couldn't work, they were sent straight to the gas chambers for immediate extermination. So it was really only a chance of survival, or very little chance of survival, and that was sort of even if you were lucky. So you're supposed to go on and explain a little bit more about the artefact, but I'm just doing this as an example. Say artefact 2 is a reconstruction of the barracks from Dachau. This is just to give you a little bit of an idea about how cramped the conditions were. If we see in that photo, they're not very comfortable at all. It's just reconstructed, it's wood, a very confined room. Dozens of people would have been packed into these bunks at night. It would have been relying on their body heat to stay warm. It would have been terribly cramped, dirty, smelly, and disease would have been rife. Absolutely terrible conditions. And this is a pretty solid example of what it would have looked like there at Dachau, sort of in the early 1940s, until the liberation in about 1945. So this is the type of information that you need to give, and if you follow the instructions for the part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, right? If you follow that as a script and write out the information that you need to convey, you'll find that the audio commentary will be much more effective. You'll have a plan, you'll know where you're going, and the guide you as the guide will sound much more